Three African nations are making a bold move that could shake the foundations of international justice. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, governed by military-led regimes since 2020, have announced their immediate withdrawal from the International Criminal Court, ICC, branding it a neo-colonial instrument of repression in the hands of imperialism. This dramatic decision, framed as a reclaiming of sovereignty, raises urgent questions about the future of global accountability for war crimes and human rights abuses. But here's where it gets controversial. Are these governments protecting their people, or are they shielding themselves from scrutiny? Let's unpack the layers of this complex issue. The Sahel Alliance, a coalition of these three nations, issued a joint statement declaring their exit from the ICC, effective immediately. They accuse the court of failing to address atrocities committed in their regions, including war crimes, crimes against humanity, and alleged aggression. Instead of relying on the ICC, the countries plan to establish their own endogenous mechanisms for peace and justice, including a proposed Sahelian penal court. This shift marks a clear pivot away from Western-aligned institutions and toward regional autonomy. The ICC, established in 2002, has long faced criticism for its perceived bias. While it has prosecuted high-profile cases, such as the 30-year sentence for Congolese warlord Bosco Ntaganda or the 10-year term for Mali's jihadist leader al-Hassan, its record is mixed. Notably, it acquitted Ivory Coast's former president Laurent Gbagbo and ex-vice president Jean-Pierre Bemba. This inconsistency has fueled accusations, particularly in Africa, that the court disproportionately targets leaders from the global south. Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are not alone in their dissent. Hungary recently withdrew in protest of a warrant against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, while the Philippines is currently investigating former President Rodrigo Duterte for crimes against humanity. The Sahel nations' grievances run deeper than institutional bias. They face escalating violence from jihadist groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS, yet their own militaries are frequently accused of civilian abuses. Meanwhile, their pivot to alternative allies, like Russia, adds another layer of complexity. Russian President Vladimir Putin, himself under an ICC arrest warrant for alleged war crimes in Ukraine, has strengthened ties with the region. This raises a troubling question. When governments reject international courts, who holds them accountable? And what happens when justice becomes a matter of regional politics instead of universal principles? The ICC's future is now more uncertain than ever. With 125 member states, but not the US, Russia, or China, its authority relies on political will. As more nations question its legitimacy, the court risks becoming a relic of a bygone era, or a symbol of the West's lingering influence over global governance. What do you think? Is the ICC a tool of justice or a vestige of colonial power? Share your views in the comments and help shape this critical debate.